Hello and welcome to Tech Talk on Galaxy with myself, Mpumi Mpama. We are living in times where women and children are falling victims at hands of those whom they trust and live with. And in some cases, even strangers kill and abuse women and children in an increasingly alarming rate. Gender-based violence is violence that is directed at an individual based on his or her biological sex or gender identity. It includes physical, sexual, verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse, threats and economic and educational deprivation, whether occurring in public or private life. Gender-based violence is an issue faced by people all over the world. Women are not treated nicely. They are harmed by gender-based violence. This is why hundreds of organizations focus on ending violence against women. According to the United Nations Population Fund, 1 in 3 women have experienced physical or sexualized violence in their lifetime. This is not including emotional, financial, or verbal abuse. Despite being so prevalent, gender-based violence is largely underreported because of the stigma and the lack of access to resources and support systems. Gender-based violence can impact anyone regardless of their geographical location, socio-economic background, race, religion, sexuality, or even gender identity. Now, while women and children or girls are the most at risk and the most affected by gender-based violence, boys, men, and sexual and gender minorities also experience gender-based violence. Gender-based violence can have serious physical, mental, economic, and social results. For example, sexualized violence can lead to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, and STIs transmissions, as well as isolation and depression. It can also prevent survivors from achieving economic prosperity because of the stigma and physical and psychological trauma caused by the violence. The prevalence of gender-based violence worldwide is largely due to systematic gender inequality that disempowers women, girls, and other minorities and stifles their voices so that their stories are not heard and their natural human rights can be more easily taken away from them. The cycle of violence is further perpetuated by lack of justice, a dearth of available resources, and a lack of economic opportunities which lead to the survivor being dependent on the abuser. For example, in the United States, only 6% of rapists are likely to face persecution. And around the world, the killings are increasing. This allows violence to continue all over the world, and groups and individuals are also growing in amazing rates to continue abusing their power without the fear of being persecuted. Just to clarify what honor killings are, a honor killing or shame killing is the murder of a member of a family due to the perpetrator's belief that the victim has brought shame or dishonor upon the family, or has violated the principles of the community or the religion with an honor culture. I'll take you through examples of gender-based violence that can manifest in many different forms, and it is important that we identify what qualifies as gender-based violence. Think of it as an act of violence that is directly related to or justified by using the gender of the victim or survivors. Gender-based violence can happen in the private spaces or public sphere, in kitchens, in bedrooms, in streets, markets, in boardrooms, or in the refugee camps. It can include street harassment, for example, groping, whistling, and unwanted attention in public spaces, and marital rape, and intimate partner violence. There are many forms of gender-based violence that has been challenged as traditions in certain communities, whether it is early marriages in certain U.S. communities, rape in South Africa and other countries around the world, trafficking of persons in India, sexual violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo, femicide in Guatemala, female genital mutilation in Nigeria, so-called honor killings in Iraq and Pakistan. There is no justification for violence. From the technology space, what is it that can be done to help prevent or at least minimize gender-based violence? Now in studio we have Tsepiso Matapuma from Oakmont Group and Kopano Mariri from Cubic Solutions. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
We are talking about gender-based violence. I would like to hear from you. Did you answer the call as men? Because, you know, because of gender-based violence, almost every man is under the umbrella of perpetrators. What is it as men? Now, I'm not talking about technology or anything at this point. I'm talking about you as men. Did you answer the call to stand against gender-based violence?
I think definitely. We, as men, we all have to come together and first start with ourselves and ask ourselves, like, what are we trying to do to solve the problem?
Right.
It's very difficult now to start by going out to the community. You first have to go to yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that personally that I had to do as well, and just think like, okay, cool. What are we doing? What am I doing to what can I do as myself, as my own entity at first, before trying to message certain messages around. So I am trying to upskill myself. I am trying to learn. I am trying to get into the mindset of how this problem is so prevalent in our community, and I'm actually trying to understand it. I mean, all of us have one or two people that we know personally who have suffered from gender-based violence, or have been somewhere affected by it. A mother, a father, an ex-girlfriend, a girlfriend, and it affects all of us at the end of the day.
That's right.
All we can do, I believe, or what we should do as men is first ask ourselves, what are we doing? Me, myself, as an entity. What can I do? So
if I understand you correctly, you're saying it starts with you.
It starts with yourself,
So you can't try to help other men if you have not attended yourself first.
You'd be sharing a message that is not prevalent inside yourself. I think you first have to start with yourself, and then you can bring it out and understand what the gender-based violence actually is. What are the repercussions of gender-based violence? You know, and I think from there that's how we should try to tackle it.
You can only give what you have.
You can only give, exactly. Thank you. That's exactly.
My brother, what's your take on this?
You know,
have you answered the call as a man?
I have, and I think I just wanna add on what my brother here was speaking about. I think for us to address gender-based violence, we need to address the family unit.
Right.
That's where it starts.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
No child is born an abuser.
All right.
No child is born a rapist.
Good.
So the problem is, as a community of South Africa, we need to look at the family unit differently, and how can we improve the family unit so that we can have better people within society. And from my side, I think even with my son, I teach him to act differently. When he's playing with a girl or a boy, there's a difference. He's quite a rough guy.
Of course.
So I always say, no, when it comes to ladies, don't push them. Just you must protect them.
Right.
Even if you're playing with them, you must protect them. So I think we as a country we need to look at the family unit and how we can improve the family unit and support the kids while they're still young, so that they don't have to go through the void of I don't have a father, I don't have a mother. Because those things in turn create these bitter emotions that they have, and then if they don't deal with those bitter emotions, they grow up to become bitter people. And hence the stats that we see in the country.
So in other words, it starts at home. We must fix this thing of saying that, look, you're a man, you're strong, beat up your sister, don't let her take advantage of you. It must be fixed.
It must be fixed. It must be fixed.
It must be gentlemen right now at a young stage.
At a young stage, So teach them while they're still young. So we need to impact their mindset while that the mind can absorb. Let that young mind absorb the correct things. Because it's very difficult. It takes you 21 days to lose a habit. So but you can pick a habit up very quickly. So we need to impact that mindset at a very young age and drive this positive energy within them. Yeah.
So would I be correct if, in just sticking to the family unit, would I be correct in saying that the child observes what happens in the house, and then most of the time they copy that? And they think it's right because they're growing in the same environment. So if daddy is abusive, and if daddy does not respect the females in the house or the women in the house, then the child might think it's the correct thing to do. So we set examples as well as men in the household?
Definitely. No, definitely.
And just to add on what you were saying as well, we have to have a proactive approach. These problems aren't going to go away by themselves.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, we do have to teach from an early age. From as a father, you have to say, like, this is not on. This is on, this is not on, this is on. Just so as a son you can grow up knowing that this is wrong. Even if you do, like if you ever find yourself in that situation, you must know that it is wrong. Yeah. Because for some people, some instances, it's second nature to them. They just it's second nature. Yeah. They don't have that thing knowing that no, it is wrong. My father told me that this is wrong. Yeah. My dad told me that I can't know my mom or whatever male figure you have in your life. You understand me? So it is something we do have to work on. Very, very in the early stages. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay. So look at the statistics that we see in most cases that femicide, which is the murder of women, right? They are committed by partners and ex-partners, and they involve the ongoing abuse in the home, as you have just rightly mentioned, that it starts with the family unit. And there are threats of intimidation that are happening around the household, and the kids are hearing all these things, and when they hear them and they grow up and they have partners, they send out the same message. Verbally, they sound like their fathers. They sound like their uncle. They sound. So a lot of those things are happening. They see sexual violence and situations where women have less power and fewer resources than their partners. Now, I want to touch on saying that 51.1% of our population in South Africa are women, okay? And 30% of the women are unemployed, especially the black African women. Not only that, we have cases where there is a decrease of satisfaction to our justice system. They have an increasing dissatisfaction of the police and the court systems. What is it that you, as individuals and people coming from your companies, what is it that you think can be done? What are the words that you can say to the women? Because women are fed up. There's been a lot of talk,
but no action.
Someone might say, there's a lot of talking, but what is it exactly that it is done? That is done. I'm glad that I have men in studio today, so that we talk about these things. In that light, what can you say? I'll start with you, sir.
I think I'll always go back to mindset.
Right.
When you have a daughter, they are taught that you wash dishes, you clean the house, you go to school, you get married, you have kids.
Right.
With me, it's totally different when it comes to my kids.
Okay.
I always tell her that the only difference between you and the boy is your gender.
Right.
But what they can do, you can also do.
Yeah.
So I think
so your son can wash the dishes now?
Yeah, my son, he makes his own bed. He has to, Okay. There's no, I don't favor the son over the boy.
Right.
Both of them are equal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to say to our women, that, there is no man that is above you.
Right.
You are a human being, a male is a human being.
Yeah.
You have the same amount of time within a day, and the same opportunities,
Yeah.
And I think that, what I would say to our women is that, they mustn't look down upon themselves. They mustn't think that they are lesser humans. They are in fact, even more powerful than men in some instances. Because if you look at the most successful men in the world, the women have a hand in that. So women are very intelligent. They can foresee things.
Yes.
So I think the women of this country need to be encouraged.
Okay.
We need to give them opportunities as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to business and open doors for them.
Yeah. Okay. What's your view on this, sir?
I think just on my side, I think the first thing that we need to address is the mindset.
Okay.
I think the only thing that, for example, would stop a woman from achieving what he thinks is possible is the mindset.
Okay.
If we can first fix the mindset that whatever a man can achieve, a woman can achieve. A woman can suppress what any male has ever achieved if she puts her mind to it.
Yes.
So I think hosting things like workshops.
Yes.
There's a workshop that I was involved in called I Am Remarkable, which basically just states why women are remarkable.
Right.
And one of the factors that kept on coming in during this workshop was that women are scared to say what they've achieved. They feel like it's bragging. And I say, for example, that don't be scared to, if you achieve something, don't be scared to start at the end of the rope. You know, you've achieved it, you can share it to your peers.
Yes.
I think that's something that we definitely have to do. You don't want to come, there's a certain mindset that I can't share my achievements. I'm going to be seen as
you're braggadocious or something.
I'm bragging. And if you're a woman, like, oh, this woman is bragging about her, and that's the one thing that I've seen. So I think the mindset is the first thing that we need to fix first.
Okay.
And then that will again trickle down to all those other factors. As a woman, there's nothing that you cannot achieve that a man can achieve. That should be standard. As soon as a female is born, that should be what's portrayed to her. That's what I say.
So, gentlemen, if I hear you correctly, what you're saying right now is that women should be seen for what they're capable of, not of their gender.
Not of their gender, no.
So the things that they can do, they must be appreciated.
No, sure.
They must be seen for their achievements.
Yes.
And they're well known for multitasking.
No, definitely.
I like the way you put it.
And us men, we more likely to concentrate on one thing and try to finish it and go to the next one. But they're multitasking, and those kind of values must be seen and respected. Is that what you guys are saying?
100%.
100%.
You cannot be scared to state your achievements. You have to put them out there. You know?
Let's go to the technology side. From the technology side, what have you done that would make sure that there is at least a decrease of gender-based violence, if not eliminating it completely? Technology side, what have you done? Can I start with you, sir?
Yeah, sure. So on our side, one of the things that we are trying to do is host several workshops that uplift and upskill women, especially.
Yes.
We've partnered up with Google Developers Group.
Okay.
We're actually running the Limpopo region now, where we host I Am Remarkable workshops, women in tech events, which are especially tailored for aspiring women. And what we've seen is that so we actually did an experiment, and if you host a woman in tech event, for example, and you let the very smart individual females attack the whatever problem statement that might be, you get a particular output, right? And now if you to introduce a workshop that actually states how smart women are, what they can achieve, and get them to believe in themselves, the quality of the output greatly improves. So that's why I was coming back to the mindset question, that you first have to fix the mindset, and then the quality of the solutions improve. So in these workshops, what we do, for example, is we give them problem statements, right? So for example, one interesting one we are doing is what technologies can we use to assist gender-based violence? So things like, for example, smartwatches, apps, what can they build to come back to this, right? And these are just some of the problem statements that we do introduce. So we host hackathons, we host workshops, and slowly but surely what we want to do is empower people to take their ideas and go through with them. So after they've actually gone through the whole workshop and came up with ideas and seen how powerful that they are, or what they can achieve in a span of a weekend, for example, in a workshop, we want them to take that idea forward. That's going to beat anything that we might just be able to do as a company on our own. We want them to take it and bring it up to the world. So that's basically a little bit about what we're doing.
So you're shifting from what has been the norm of talking about it and actually doing something about it.
We found that you have to have a practical approach to it. Talk is one thing, but if you actually get someone to build something and actually seeing that, wait, I can actually do this in a weekend, or I can actually do this in 3 hours. I thought it needed a year for me to develop an app. I thought it needed a year I need to learn how to code. I need to learn how ICs, integrated circuits work. And that's not the case. You can actually achieve all this in a particular amount of time. And once you have achieved that, now you have that, that power,
that confidence.
That confidence, exactly, and you can take it out to the world. So yes, action first. Talk. We've been doing enough talk. It's time to take actionable steps now.
Sure. my brother?
I think that I like my brother here, and I think we might structure a deal after this one. It's a deal waiting to happen, No, I think let me firstly say that Sabela was created by Lesedi Lebogo.
Just to interject there. You said Sabela, which means answer the call.
Answer the call.
So you are doing, you are actually adding on what he is.
Exactly.
So you're not just talking. You're answering the call.
We're answering the call.
And you've named your product Sabela.
Sabela, which is the app.
Please go on.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it was created by Lesedi Lebogo, who sadly could not be here with us today.
Okay.
But basically, Sabela, it's a platform that gives women the opportunity to share, number one, their stories, of abuse, but not only sharing the stories of abuse, it also gives them access to emergency contact details that should they find themselves in a particular situation, they're able to tap into, those type of contact numbers and alert, the police or, a loved one, So it's a very much it's a great app and a platform for women to be on. So hence I'm saying that this is a deal waiting to happen, because he's doing events, your women-led events in technology, and we can do something there. So we are very, very, very serious about gender-based violence. I think as men we need to play our part, in the struggle, so the app is a great tool, in terms of us playing our part, within the struggle. So
So it's not only creating revenue for yourself. It's answering a call for the problem that we have right now. Some are actually saying this is a pandemic itself, the gender-based violence.
100%.
So you're answering the call.
Yeah. So we are at the forefront.